Hello, hikers. I normally like to hike physically challenging trails in mountains or canyons, but this time I'm going to review a mostly flat, accessible trail on the shore of Puget Sound, offering views of both Puget Sound and the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Today's trail is in a city park called Titlow Park in the city of Tacoma on the eastern shore of Puget Sound, just south of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Titlow Park is a large grassy flat park located near a lagoon in Puget Sound at the base of 6th Avenue. The park is 75 acres. It was once a roaring resort that brought visitors from all over for a luxury stay. It closed in 1923, and the city bought the land in 1926, eventually turning it into a public park where visitors can take advantage of its nature trails and beach access. The main trail here is a 1.6-mile long loop trail called the Titlow Park Trail. The trail is mostly flat, with a total elevation gain of just 72 feet. According to all trails, the trail starts near the intersection of Hidden Beach Road and Titlow Beach Park Road, where I've drawn a red X. But when I visited, the road was barricaded off. Instead, park your car at the parking lot I've circled near the bottom of the screen. This is where I started and finished my hike. I arrived early evening, when the sun was just starting to get low in the sky. The very first thing which caught my eye was this beautiful tree-lined lagoon between Puget Sound and the parking lot. I walked past the north end of the lagoon to a very narrow spit of land separating the lagoon from a freshwater pond where I could see birds. I'm not a birder, so I don't know what I saw, but those of you who are might enjoy this spot. The pond is fed by a very gentle stream. Continuing north on the Lagoon Loop Trail, the trail went through a nice section of trees. I forgot how close I was to Tacoma by this point. The trail, which is really a gravel road at this point, is very wide, well-maintained, and almost flat. At this point, I reached an intersection with an unnamed trail. If I turned left, I would stay on the Lagoon Loop Trail and eventually arrive back where I started, but without getting close to the beach. Instead, I took the unnamed trail to Hidden Beach Road so that I could get to the beach. Here you really do have to follow the trail because beach access requires crossing railroad tracks, and there are only 2 places in the park you can do that. This was the steepest part of the trail, approaching a 3 to 6% grade for the short section, about 1/10 of a mile, from the north end of the pond to the intersection with Hidden Beach Road, followed by a downhill stretch, a negative 3 to 6% grade, approaching the beach. Finally, I arrive along the shore of Puget Sound at what looks like a former boat launch. From here, looking north, I get my first good view of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. If you've ever heard of the famous Galloping Gertie Bridge that collapsed back in the 1940s, this is where that happened. After about a 2-minute walk, I arrived at a spot where I could turn off the dirt road onto a trail called the Hidden Beach Trail. The Hidden Beach Trail hugs the beach above a short-ish cliff. This trail was probably my favorite part of the entire loop because of the trees. I think they are so cool. Next, I came across a section where the fence had been taped off, and it looks like there used to be a really nice rock or stone staircase from the trail leading down to the beach, but I don't know if you can tell from this shot, but some of the steps fell out of position or were washed out, and the trail eventually merges back with what had been the dirt road and is now a paved asphalt sidewalk that runs parallel to the railroad tracks, between the railroad tracks and the beach. The tracks seem to be pretty active. The entire time I was at the park, I saw 2 different trains go by on the tracks. Finally, we get to the southernmost end of this loop around the park, which is on a pier overlooking Puget Sound, facing Fox Island, Kitsap Peninsula, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, and I'm assuming on a clear day you'd be able to see the Olympic Mountains way off in the distance. One of my favorite things about hiking is seeing trail bridges. This loop had a trail bridge over a tiny little stream that fed into the lagoon. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you can be notified of future videos.